Hi, I'm Jason and welcome to my shop. In this video I am building some brand new tall wall cabinets for my shop. Not only will they help me organize, but they'll help me keep dust off all my stuff. So I've got a trailer full of plywood and I've got plans in hand, so let's get building. Each cabinet is constructed with 3 full 4x8 sheets of 3/4 inch birch plywood, as well as a 1/4 inch piece of birch plywood. I'm going to start by making all my cut marks and then starting to break it down with the circular saw. The shelves are going to be joined to the sides using 1/4 inch dados. In order to keep the dados a perfect mirror on both sides, I'm going to route the dados all at one time and then rip this sheet in half. The result will be 2 sides at 16 inches by 84 inches. I'm using a 3/4 inch straight cutting bit in my router to cut the dados. I'm using my 1/4 inch height gauge to ensure that the cut is exactly 1/4 inch. I've also measured the distance from the edge of the bit to the edge of the router base. At 2 5/8 will be the offset that I'll need to set my fence at to ensure that my data is in the proper location. I'll rip the 2 inch and 4 inch face frame strips here at the table saw. And I'll cut them both to a 36 inch length here at the miter saw. Using this large cutoff section, I'm going to cut the top and the bottom sections both at 35 inches in length. Now I'll cut them to a final width of 15 3/4 here at the table saw. I pulled out another whole piece of plywood, and this is going to be for cutting up all the shelves. So I have to cut 4 more shelves at 35 inches by 15 3/4. The top and bottom sections need to have 1/4 inch rabbets routed in the back edge to accept the back panel. Next, I need to route 1/4 inch rabbets in the back edges of the side panels. After standing the main structure up, I've put these blocks in to brace it while it's drying, so that way it doesn't dry in a racked position. So I want it to dry in a square as possible anyways, and this will give me time to cut out the back section. For the doors, I'm going to need to cut 2 panels, 18 inches wide by 78 inches tall. And I'll cut those both from the same piece of wood so that the grain matches up. Okay, I just laid the cabinet on its face so I could test the fit of the back panel. And now that I know that it fits, I'm going to pull it out, put some glue, and put nails in it. To help with the hinge alignment, I'm going to use what's called a story stick, and basically it's a stick that is going to have markings on it, and in this case it's registered with the bottom of the door, and I'm going to mark it where all the hinges will be. That way I can transfer those marks to the cabinet by using this stick, and I can use that for all 4 doors and they'll be all identical. For this door I'm going to use 2 hinges per door, and I found that the best place really is about 8 inches from the bottom. So I'll mark right here 8, and I'll mark my story stick 8. For consistency, I'm going to do the exact same thing at the top here. I'm going to measure down 8 inches, mark my door, and then mark my story stick. And I'll put TH for top hinge. Now we just got to mark the rest of the doors. I like to use these Euro hinges for these types of cabinets. They're easy to adjust and they're easy to install. For the layout, I'm going to use one of my marking gauges that I made on my CNC. And this is going to mark out the 2 hole positions for the screws as well as the center point for the Forstner bit. All I have to do is transfer my mark line the jig up, mark the holes, and then use an awl to make sure that those points are nice and marked. I want those points marked well, and also this will help my drill bit from wandering. For the hinge pocket, I'll be drilling that with a 1 3/8 Forstner bit. For the screws, I'll be using my self-centering Vix bit. And you just drive the screws in. Now I just have to do the rest. To install the hinges on the cabinet, I'm going to use my story stick again. This time I'm going to use this 1/8 shim. And I'm going to place this 1/8 shim down here underneath the story stick. And that will slightly move the hinges up an 1/8 inch, causing the doors to have a little bit of a gap at the bottom, and that way they won't bind along this bottom kick plate. Like I did with the doors, I'm going to use a marking jig that I made for these Euro hinges. This one has 2 holes and it has a center line to make sure that it's aligned properly on the cabinet. Well, I'm really happy how these cabinets came out. They're a perfect fit for my shop and my needs. And as you can see, they're already filling up with stuff. If you'd like to see how I prep the shop and move the cabinets in, click on this video link here, and that will take you to our move-in video showing just that. As always, thank you for watching this video. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. I always appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.